Hey, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm gonna talk about top 5
best Pentax camera.
Starting at number 5.
Nikon D5600. Here's another beginner DSLR that is holding its own in a market dominated by mirrorless cameras. The D5600 is a step up from Nikon's D3000 series models, with set of specs strong enough to rival the likes of the Canon EOS Rebel T8i/EOS 850D, see above. Key advantages over the D3500 include a large touchscreen that has a vlogging-friendly articulating design to flip round to the front, plus Wi-Fi and a healthy range of additional control on the inside. In our tests, its 24.2 MP sensor produced detailed images that didn't disappoint. In fact, despite the D5600's age, you'll likely need to upgrade to a full-frame camera to get better results. We also found its 39-point AF system to be decent, if a little dated, while polished handling makes the D5600 a well-rounded entry-level DSLR. You need to pay more for the privilege, but it makes sense to go for the D5600 if you want a beginner camera with growing room. It'll be a reliable companion for years to come.
Coming at number 4.
Pentax K70. It's several years old, but the Pentax K70, or the Pentax KF, which is essentially the same camera with a slightly sharper display, remains a good value option for beginners who want something different from the big two DSLR manufacturers. It's a particularly good choice if you have a stash of old Pentax lenses gathering dust. The K70 benefits from a useful articulating screen, while the hybrid live view autofocus system proved to be a practical alternative to the viewfinder during our review. Our favorite thing about the K70 is its tough build quality, which is typically lacking in entry-level models. If you're keen to take lots of pictures outdoors, for example, you might want to try landscape photography, then being able to rely on the K70 in inclement weather is a big bonus. One slight disappointment is the kit lens, which is often bundled with the camera. While it offers a longer focal length than most, we found it could be a little soft in places. Still, with solid specs and rugged credentials, the Pentax K70 is a capable all-rounder that's worth considering.
At number 3.
Canon EOS Rebel T8i. The Canon EOS Rebel T8i, known as the EOS 850D outside the US, picks up the baton from the popular Rebel T7i/EOS 800D, which is now tricky to find. It isn't a huge upgrade. The most notable addition is a 4K video mode, which we found to be hampered by frame rate restrictions. Still, the Rebel T8i/EOS 850D remains one of our favorite all-round DSLRs for beginners. You get a dual-pixel phase detection AF system, which in our tests was fast, reliable and great for video. Its button layout is also very considered, while the vari-angle LCD screen handles really well. As long as you ignore that headline of 4K video, which involves a crop and the loss of phase detection autofocus, it remains a great option for anyone who's starting a photography hobby and prizes DSLR advantages like battery life and handling over the latest mirrorless tech.
Number 2 of my list.
Canon EOS Rebel. The EOS Rebel SL3, also known as the 250D and 200D Mark II outside the US, isn't Canon's cheapest DSLR, but we think it offers a great blend of features, performance, and value. For a start, it's the smallest and lightest DSLR with an articulating screen, which means it isn't as intimidatingly large as some of its rivals. It also adds a fresh processing engine and 4K video recording to its Rebel SL2, EOS 200D, predecessor. We were impressed with its responsive touchscreen, speedy startup time and excellent dual-pixel CMOS AF system, which also works when you're shooting 1080p video, though not sadly in 4K. Its 5 frames per second burst shooting can't compete with the latest mirrorless cameras, so those who like to shoot sports or action should look elsewhere. But for our money, the EOS Rebel SL3/EOS 250D makes more sense than Canon's super-budget DSLRs, such as the EOS Rebel T100, also known as the EOS 4000D/EOS 3000D.
And number 1.
Nikon D3500. Nikon has officially ceased production of the D3500, but it remains an excellent option for those who are new to photography. Building on the foundation laid by the D3400, it adds a handful of extra perks. Battery life is one of them. Unlike power-hungry mirrorless models, we found in testing that the D3500 could capture more than 1,500 images between charges, way ahead of most other DSLRs. We found that the 24MP sensor was capable of delivering excellent image quality, too. Nikon also revised the body and control layout of the D3500 compared to previous generations, which we think makes it nicer to handle and easier to use. The Useful Guide mode takes the first-time user's hand and walks them through all the key features in a way that makes everything easy to understand. We still think the Nikon D3500 is the best DSLR option for new photographers. If you're just getting started and can find one in stock, we reckon you will as well.
Check out this video description for latest price and more informations. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe and stay tuned.